I'm Bettina. I've been sewing clothes from secondhand materials for over 10 years now, and I've done this little video series now all about conscious and sustainable consumption. How do I buy things as sustainably as possible? And today I wanted to talk about buying things new and why you sometimes buy things new and what makes sense and what not. And this one is an unscripted video, so it might be a little bit all over the place, but I've talked about a lot of things like gifting, trading, how to buy different products secondhand, where to look, where to find them, and all of that. There are things in life that I do buy new. I think everyone has their own boundaries of, oh, I'm not going to buy shoes secondhand, or I'm not going to buy underwear secondhand, or I don't know where your threshold is, and that is completely fine. There is also some products where it makes sense to buy them new. So let's say, for example, I have heard, I'm not 100% sure about this, I'm not the expert, but from what I understand, when it comes to fridges, it makes a massive difference on how new it is when it comes to just the energy usage of it. So it might make more sense to buy a new fridge versus a 10-year-old one, just based on the amount of energy it needs to run. Or another kitchen example is coated pans. Coated pans absolutely suck for the environment. I personally try to go for stainless steel pans. Once every month or so, I do want to use a coated pan though. And mine are absolutely at the end of their life. They are not healthy to use anymore. And once I move out of here, they will unfortunately end up in the trash. And I am going to buy myself one coated pan, which will hopefully last me for years to come because I do not use it very often. But that is something that, again, I would buy new because as soon as it is damaged, it is worse for the environment to keep using it. And then the last thing I would say is small businesses, artists, and so on. I'm a creative person. I love to make things. I love to paint, draw, make jewelry, whatever it might be. You might not be as creative, have the time, have the tools, have the energy to do that. And then the better option is always to go to the local artisan and buy a piece of beautiful jewelry versus going to the big chain store. So even within the realm of buying new, there are more conscious and sustainable choices you can make. I'm going to self-advertise here for a second because my brand is a great example for this. You want a new statement white blouse, then maybe the person making shirts from secondhand materials that already existed and would have otherwise ended up in the landfill is the better choice than the chain store. There is a lot more thought and care put into the product, so it will probably last you a lot longer. So as much as I love to buy secondhand as much as possible, sometimes buying things new is potentially the better option, and it always makes sense to look at all the different factors and really consciously think about your purchases.